Good morning, Emerson. Today is Tuesday, October 8th, and we have a very special guest. Bates Wilder will be here. He's the stage manager for Sheer Madness, a popular show in Boston, and of course, he also teaches here at Emerson.
And later we have another special guest. Jess Griffith will be introducing us to local singer-songwriter Joseph Freeman.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anthony Chase.
And I'm Maggie Morlath, and today we have a great show for you on Good Morning Emerson.
That's right, Maggie. Justin Bieber back in the news, and it's not a great story for him. Remember when he was 12 years old dancing around?
Oh, yeah, I know, but now he's an actual adult, and he has to own up to the consequences of his actions.
So has he changed that much? Nah, I'm not sure.
We'll see. We'll be hearing more about that from Christian later. But we will also be hearing an uplifting story from the marathon earlier this year.
That's right. The victims getting back to what they can sort of call a normal day-to-day life. It's a heartwarming story. Brittany Gervais is going to have that. But we also are switching up our talent. As you may have heard, we have a new weather person. Mal Meyer is here. He's going to be giving you your weather update.
Yes, and as I mentioned, Christian, who formerly did weather, is now going to be doing entertainment.
So that's the way it's going to be. We're switching things up, but it's going to be fun. These guys are all really great at what they do. They're really happy with their new positions, and I'm excited to see what they can do in these new spots.
But now we're going to toss it over to Brittany Gervais, who is our news correspondent for the first time. Brittany, what's the latest?
Hey guys, glad to be here. Good morning, everyone. I'm Brittany Gervais with today's top stories. Secretary of State John Kerry defends the decision to enter Libya and sees an accused operative for al-Qaeda. Amidst criticism from Libya, Kerry says the United States will never stop hunting extremists. The 49-year-old Abu Anas al-Libi was captured over the weekend for allegedly playing a role in the 1998 bombings of U.S. embassies. He is described as an al-Qaeda computer expert, expected to have been working with the terrorist group for decades. This wasn't the only raid carried out over the weekend, however. Another one was launched before dawn against Shabab leader Libi in a southern Somali port. The senior militant was not captured, but several Shabab members were killed during the operation. The U.S. government moves into its second week of the government shutdown with no end in sight. Republican House Speaker John Boehner vows he won't raise the debt ceiling unless he has a serious conversation about what's causing all this debt. The last big discussion about the debt ceiling happened in August 2011, when after an 11-hour conversation, they decided a default will result in an economic disaster. Turns out that date's coming up. If Congress can't raise the debt ceiling by October 17th, we will go into default, meaning the U.S. government can no longer take out the loans to pay off our debt. That's something that's never happened before, and economists and politicians don't yet know the exact consequences of defaulting. Just a reminder, everyone, this is the 8th day since the government shut down. 3 cell biologists from American universities won Nobel Prizes in psychology and medicine for their works on how cells transport molecules. Dr. Sheckman, Dr. Rothman, and German scientist Dr. Sudoff each won awards Monday. Together, their work is being called a fundamental process in cell physiology and could help research into diseases like diabetes. Now here's a great story for you guys. Boston Marathon bombing victims are learning how to run again. Dozens of amputees showed up to the Harvard's athletic field Sunday morning to learn how to run with their new prosthetic legs. Among them was Celeste Corcon, who lost both of her legs at the marathon finish line. She says while she wasn't much of a runner before, one day she definitely hopes to join a 5K or a fun run. The Challenge Athletes Foundation organized this meeting for the Boston Marathon victims to get together and build off each other's strengths. They were run through a series of complicated drills and then lined everyone up for the highlight of the day, the obstacle course. So happy to hear this story. Back to you, Maggie and Anthony on the couch.
Thanks, Brittany.
So talking about the government shutdown, we are on the 8th day now. Do you think that Congress would ever allow the nation to default?
I really don't think that's going to happen, just because it's something so serious that it's never happened before. We don't quite know the consequences of what will happen if we do go into default. We do know that programs like Medicaid and Social Security will be cut or stopped funding. So that's definitely a big problem. So, you know, both political parties have been pretty stubborn about what to do about the situation, but I think when push comes to shove, when that deadline finally comes up, we're going to have to do something about it.
All right, well, at least the military is still running. Brittany, what do you think about those 2 high-profile raids in Libya and Somalia?
Okay, so we have been looking for these two suspects for a long time. They have been on our most wanted list forever, since the 1990s. It's something we had to do to ensure our own safety as a nation. However, the U.S. kind of has a problem thinking that we're kind of the superhero of the world. So we go in, take someone out, move out, and don't think that anyone's going to get upset at us. Well, we've actually caused a rift between us and Libya, so that's definitely a consequence. There are always going to be pros and consequences to any of our actions or decisions.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thanks so much, Brittany. It's awesome to have you as our news correspondent, but now we're going to have our new weather correspondent, Mal Meyer.
What a day to start out. The weather is so funky. Our AP from Texas thinks he's back home.
Yeah, it's definitely been a little humid, a little muggy. Mal, what can we expect in the next few days?
And good morning to you both, and good morning, Emerson. Put away your rain boots and umbrellas because the sun has returned. Later today, we're going to see clouds dissipate. There's a few out right now, and the sun is going to be out full force. It's going to be a little bit windy with gusts reaching 11 miles per hour, and the wind will help keep you cool. There's going to be some slight humidity because of all the rain over the last few days. A high of 68 degrees with a slight chance of rain, and tonight it'll still be a little bit windy. Temperatures dipping down to 48 degrees. Now let's take a look at your 5-day weather forecast. Tomorrow it's going to be sunny and cool again. Wind speeds, mild at about 10 miles per hour with a high of 61 and low of 48. Thursday will be partially sunny with a high of 64 and clouds rolling in at night, a low of 53. Looking towards the end of the week, Friday will be very cloudy, highs reaching the mid-60s and gain down to lows at about 50 degrees at night. This weekend, if you're making plans, Saturday will be partially sunny with a high of 64, low of about 50 degrees. That does it for the weather. I'm Mal Meyer. Back to you guys, Anthony and Maggie.
Thanks, Mal. Our guest today is the stage manager of a record-breaking comedy. He also has a successful career in acting, and in his free time, he teaches over here at Emerson.
That's right. Bates Wilder, thank you for being here.
Hi, how are you? Good to be here.
Good. Thank you so much for coming. So I have to ask, how has your work been with Sheer Madness? What have you done with Sheer Madness?
I've acted in Sheer Madness, which is how I started there. That was back in 1998. And and then I started stage managing because it was a little more steady. And I've been stage managing ever since. And it's a blast because they give me time off if I want to go out and do a play or if I want to, do a film or a TV show or whatever. So
what has that experience been like, stage managing for a play that's been out there for so long? You've sort of seen it develop.
It's been fantastic because I've got to watch a lot of people start there and grow and become, a little bit more of celebrity, not big time celebrity, but, I see like friends in national commercials and on TV shows and whatnot.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
So I know that you've seen people learn and grow with that. How did you transition into teaching?
Oh, I've been teaching. I was teaching prior to that. I started teaching in 1992 or something with CP Casting, the studio at CP Casting. And I still teach there now. I love it, and that's where I started doing it.
So you sort of have a lot of experience to share because you've, been behind the scenes, and then you've also had an acting career. Let's talk about that.
I got my fingers in everything as much as I can. Here's the thing. I love the entire art. I love all of it. I love what the writing. I have great respect for people who can write. I've written a couple of things, and I actually wrote a piece that was produced with a lot of Emerson students this past spring.
That's cool.
And it was great. They came down to my hometown. We shot a short film, and I love the creation of the art. It's a real blast. And getting my fingers in, from building sets to ripping tickets, to mopping the floor afterwards, and also, doing character work. I was just on a show on Lifetime that aired a couple weeks ago. I'm in the new Travolta movie. I'm having a blast.
That's awesome.
That
That's
really
awesome.
is awesome.
Well, Bates Wilder, if you can get him for a professor, you should, because
he's crazy. Because he's crazy.
He's crazy. He's a character, and you're going to want to talk to this guy. But thank you for coming on our show. It was awesome.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and good luck with Sheer Madness.
Yes, of course.
Well, we have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with a profile on Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. Now we're getting a little bit further into October, which just happens to be Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And this year is actually the 25th anniversary of National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
It is a great time to reflect on one of the deadliest forms of cancer worldwide. 1 in 8 women have a chance of getting breast cancer. I mean, I'm sure you know somebody out there, maybe in your family. I have people in my family that are affected by this disease, and it's something that we really need to look at and see what we can do.
That's true, and all month long, everywhere, people are showing their support by wearing pink, talking about pink, thinking pink. I know I'm wearing pink today, just for the occasion. And I know a lot of other people are wearing pink. It's not just women, right, Anthony?
That's right. Actually, if you watch football at all, which most Americans do, you'll see that the NFL actually has a huge campaign going on as well, where the players are wearing pink socks, they're using a pink coin for the coin toss, and all of those items are going to be auctioned off at the end of the month. College kids, you might not be able to afford them. They're going to be a little pricey, but all the proceeds are going to go to an organization that helps women get breast cancer screening in low-income areas. So it's a really great cause, and I'm really glad that the NFL, a sort of macho organization, is taking this initiative to help out for this cause.
Right, there's really pink everywhere. I know they're actually lighting up some buildings in pink.
Exactly.
Empire State Building in New York, the Prudential Center is actually being lit up in pink too. So we are seeing that everywhere. But there are also events that are going on campus and around Boston that are supporting breast cancer research.
We can't forget to mention you were out there this weekend with your sorority in full force walking in support of breast cancer. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Greek Life had a huge involvement this weekend, and I actually walked in the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk, which was an awesome experience.
That's awesome. So look out for your ways to get involved with that organization. It was an exciting night for Monday. Sports fans, let's take a recap with Mike Cantalupo.
And there's no place like home. The Red Sox took the first 2 games of their ALDS matchup against the Rays in Fenway. Now, last night, Game 3 took place in their home away from home Tropicana Field. We take it with Clay Buchholz, who is there trying to close it out for the Red Sox. Take it to the bottom of the 5th inning, 3-0 Red Sox, not for long. Evan Longoria, that's a 3-run home run that ties them up. Take it to the bottom of the 9th now. It's tied 4-4. Evan Longoria takes a curtain call there. We got Koji Uharu on the mound, but Jose Lubaton hits it into the fishes. And the Rays come out of that one 5-4. So the Red Sox couldn't clinch it, but all 4 division series matchups continued last night with the Red Sox and 2 other squads going into the ability to clinch their berth in the championship series. In the Pittsburgh-St. Louis series, it was Pittsburgh's night to clinch. They came into the game up 2-1 in the series, but Cardinals pitcher Michael Wacha took a no-hitter into the 8th inning, and St. Louis got the 2-1 win. The Dodgers had a 2-1 lead in their series against the Braves going into last night, and Los Angeles was the only team to secure their bid in the championship series. They beat Atlanta 5-4. Now looking at football, the Patriots started off the season 4-0, but there was constant concern that they may not be as good of a team as their undefeated record would state. The game was a defensive battle against the Cincinnati Bengals as both offenses struggled throughout the contest. In the end, though, it was a short run by former Patriot Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, the law firm, that proved to be the only touchdown of the game. The Bengals won this one 13-6. You heard right, the Patriots went touchdownless, which means the Bengals ended Tom Brady's 52-game touchdown streak. Now, the matchup in Cincinnati was a game for defense lovers, but what about all those who love some offense? Well, they had to look no further than Dallas, where Tony Romo and Peyton Manning put on the holy grail of offensive power. Look at that's a beautiful pass by Tony Romo. Now, this is Peyton Manning down 7. No Sean Moreno gets the run in. You can never stop Peyton Manning. Now, Tony Romo wants to come back with the lead, but Tony Romo, after 500 passing yards, he's still Tony Romo in the end. That's an interception, and the Broncos pulled that one out. Now they're 5-0. That's it for sports. Back to you, Maggie and Anthony.
Thanks, Mike. I'm sure Brady wishes he had those kind of options to throw to. But let's talk about the Red Sox. They have a chance to do it tonight. They probably want to put last night behind them. But what do you think was the downfall in last night's contest?
Right. I think that, well, first off, let me just say, this 9-inning game was 4 hours and 19 minutes long. I was trying to cut a highlight for this. It just waited forever. But anyway, the Red Sox downfall was the fact that they left runners on scoring positions without scoring any runs in 4 of 9 innings. When you're in the ALDS in a playoff situation, that isn't going to work.
All right, we'll see. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
And now Christian Mudrick, who previously told us about the gray skies here in Boston, will be telling us about the sunny skies over in California. Christian's got all the scoop on what's going on in Hollywood. Christian?
Thanks, guys. I'm Christian Mudrick, giving you the scoop on your entertainment world. Amanda Bynes has recently been moved to a Malibu rehab facility that deals specifically with celebrity patients. In August, her lawyer and doctor released information that formally diagnosed her with schizophrenia, and she was put on psychiatric hold at the UCLA Medical Center. Despite that hold, she decided to move to the Canyon Treatment Center, which does not have a psych facility. Allegedly, she's been wandering around the center au naturel without her wig, paranoid that the paparazzi will find her. I wasn't aware that wigging out was a technical term. Despite the emphasis previously and generally on Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, it would appear that it's Elizabeth's turn to shine. The younger sister of the Full House stars is allegedly going to have a role in Joss Whedon's second installment of the Avengers movie, Age of Ultron. Samuel L. Jackson, who plays the fearless Nick Fury in the movie, revealed to the Wall Street Journal that Olsen will be joining the cast, although he was not sure which role she'll play. It's rumored that she will be playing the Scarlet Witch, the evil daughter of Magneto and twin sister of Quicksilver, who will be played by Aaron Tyler Johnson. The movie is set to release in the summer of 2015. Is Justin Bieber really a criminal? According to the Los Angeles District Attorney, no. Just extremely immature. The DA just threw out a case where Bieber had been criminally charged for spitting on a trespassing neighbor. Bieber had verbally threatened his Calabasas neighbor before hawking a loogie on them. Get this, to validate the case, the neighbor saved the loogie. Even with such revolting evidence, Bieber was let go, but not without being called disproportionate and immature by the DA of LA. You'd think someone who spends their entire career trying to prove that they aren't a 12-year-old girl would be more wary of being immature. Move over, Miley. There's a new naked wrecking ball straddling sheriff in town. Hulk Hogan recently became a partner of a new web hosting company called Hostomania, similar to GoDaddy.com, and naturally the best and seemingly only way to promote the company and get its feet off the ground was to parodize Miley's music video for her new Wrecking Ball single. Hogan stripped down to a thong and swung around on a wrecking ball. Let's take a look.
Brother.
The real question I have is, how does he keep those 60-year-old cheeks so evenly tan? That's all the juicy gossip I have for you. Back to you guys on the couch.
Thanks so much, Christian. Now, we've all been hearing about Amanda Bynes for so long. Do you think that her recent move will be in her favor?
Well, no. Socialite Brooke Mueller stayed at the same facility a couple years back, and she ended up suing because information was leaked to the paparazzi. And Bynes has a huge potential of being exploited, so I don't think it was her smartest move, although she hasn't really been known for her good moves since she was dancing with lobsters.
Great job, Christian. Keep up the good work for us. That was fantastic. We have to take a quick break right now, but we have some acoustic melodies coming up next.
That's right, Joseph Freeman's here, and he is ready to play, so stick around.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Be sure to check back on Tuesday when cooking correspondent Sharon Johnson will be here in the studio to talk Tex-Mex.
But now it's time for us to hand the show over to Jess Griffith to talk music. Jess?
Thanks, Maggie. We'll have a live performance from Joseph Freeman in just a few minutes, but first I got to sit down and speak with Joseph about his music. Hey everyone, we're here today in Cambridge to talk to Joseph Freeman. He's actually an Emerson alum and is super talented. He's an acoustic musician but can also play multiple instruments. We got a chance to sit down with Joseph and learn a little bit more about him.
I went for a run and came back crying because I didn't know why I didn't feel at home.
So can you tell me how you got started with music?
I started playing music when I was about 12 or 13 years old because my old man is a musician and he plays all the instruments that I play. He plays drums and bass and guitar. I am an Emerson alum. I loved it, had a great time. I was writing songs and in bands all growing up and through high school, and then when I went to college, at WRS I recorded my first album. It was 10 songs and I played all the drums and bass and guitar and piano and vocals all myself, and I wrote everything. I'm trying to write a collection of songs specifically written for the acoustic guitar and just one voice, which is very difficult because that of course means there's so much pressure on those two components. They both have to be very, very excellent. So it's fortunately pushed me to write the best songs that I've ever written so far. So we recorded the acoustic guitar track with like 10 mics all around me, and I recorded it so delicately here at this level, and recorded it in such a way that any move, any breath was amplified. The Azalea EP went this way, this new project's going this way, and for my next endeavor, I'm sure it'll go some totally wild different direction.
Now that we learned a little bit more about Joseph, let's go into the studio to hear him live.
Oh no, well I'm not going down without a fight, says the worm to the bird. My time, but this clock will shell shock just like a landmine. Look it straight in the eye. Oh, Miss Misery, my anomaly, the undertone to friends that I've outgrown. Breathe harmony, believe me, and honestly, nothing more the innocent tragedy. Oh, oh, oh. Smoking the melody we sing as a remedy, sing helplessly. Miss Misery, my anomaly, the undertone to friends that I've outgrown. Breathe harmonies, believe me, and honestly, nothing more than innocent tragedy. Godspeed to the brothers no more. You've heard this before, but I love you deeply. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, Joseph, well, thank you for being here. So we just have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
So if someone never heard your music before, how would you describe your style?
Well, I guess like rock and roll, indie. I really, like a lot of artists, I copy people that I like. So I like, Weezer and Say Anything and Death Cab and some metal, so, indie.
All right, great. Do you pull personal experiences from your own life into your songs?
Yeah, definitely. think that every song that I've ever written is nonfiction. I try to. What's very fun for me is to take, of course, very large events in my life, like a breakup or a death or something like that, and try to put that in a song. And then also, it's a really fun challenge to even think about like writing a song about this dude like cut me off in my lane, and like now I'm going to be late, and like trying to figure out that like perhaps that song might not make it to the record, but it's fun to write nonfiction for me. That's the most fun.
Okay, great. And that's all the time we have today for GME. Here's Joseph with his last song, Lioness.
Your eyes, oh my God, go get Mom, Dad, and I wrapped you up in my old bed sheets and carried you behind the house. No one spoke, and we lowered you down. Stone right in front of me, and Mom, she cried. Years ago, when you were maimed, I was a boy, oh just a boy. I gave to you my